Hey guys, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on when you're tuning into this video. It is the evening here in Guatemala. I'm in my kitchen and I am cooking some dinner. And I was thinking about something, reflecting on something that I learned at the permaculture gardening course that is like so obvious, but I learned it in a way that really made it stand out in such a different way that I think is really important to understand, because this is the key thing to personal growth. It's the key thing to making all kinds of magic in your life. It's the key element to healing. It's the key element to all of the things that you want for yourself. Without this, all you've got is raw matter. And why I titled this video in the Facebook description, "Without this, all you have is poop," is because I learned this lesson really powerfully when we were learning about compost. Hi guys, good evening, good morning, hi everybody. So, you guys know about compost, right? It's organic matter. You can make compost at home using your old, your vegetable peels, anything that is natural organic matter, so not plastic. You can compost paper because it's an organic material, but that stuff breaks down and it can become a wonderful thing to add to your soil, to bring life to your soil. So compost is almost like a magic ingredient in itself, right? And hi guys, hi Bev, hi honey, hi Amanda, hi Trisha, hi Lucy, hi Debbie. So when we were learning about making compost, we were learning about it with the goat pen. So they have they have a compost system at the farm where they have the goats who poop, and then they have straw, and the poop mixes together, and then it turns into compost. But the main ingredient, aside from the poop and the straw, without this, all you have is poop. And that's time. If you don't give it time, the magic can't happen. So I was reflecting on this. How often in life have I tried to rush something? How often have I wanted something so bad and I get frustrated that I don't have it yet? That I'm not healed, I'm not learned, I don't have the thing. And it's like, no, honey child. The most important, possibly the most important ingredient in the magical equation of life is time. You have to give it time. Otherwise, you just have poop and straw. That's it. So that's this idea of alchemy. You've probably heard of alchemy, the alchemist, you know, this idea of turning lead into gold, right? So that's a metaphor. They're not literally turning lead into gold. And that actually confused a lot of people and created a lot of room for greed and coercion and a poor reputation for alchemy. But alchemy is essentially the science of transformation. It's how we turn something very base into something of a much higher version. So how do you take poop and straw and turn it into this life-giving material that when you add it to the soil, plants will grow without chemicals? Alchemy can also be seen symbolically in our lives. How we take our base consciousness, our fears and our doubts and all of the pain and all of the ugh, right? And how we transform that and transcend that into the gold of our being, right? So there are many ingredients, and you know, it depends on a lot of different things, but the most important thing that you can't sidestep is the equation of time, or how time fits into the equation. You know, and this also I think relates to sort of like the divine plan. And you know how like God, whatever your concept, whatever your misunderstanding of God is, there's like God's plan and then there's our plan, right? There's our timing and then there's God's timing. Oh my gosh, look at this. We got one sleepy boy here. You got one sleepy girl here. Hi, honey. And we got one sleepy girl here. So it's like, okay, so you have your time and you have God's time. And I think that's one thing that is, that's so important to remember, is that we don't necessarily get everything we want on our time, right? We have to be willing to surrender into the divine plan if we're to really have a peaceful to really enjoy life and have a peaceful life, you know? Because if we're always stressed out and wanting things to be done when we want them and insisting and then fighting and getting angry at people and frustrated at people when they're not done when we want them to be done, then we're creating a formula for discontent and resentment. Oh, yes. Oh, sure. Nice. Stephanie says she's been struggling, and you always get cheered up with these videos. Well, Stephanie, I feel you, girl. You know, I think the worst thing is when we look at people, compare and despair. Am I right? Compare and despair. Like, you're going through a hard time, and you think other people are having it easy. And, yeah, I just want you to know that you're not alone, and you're suffering, and you're struggling, and my encouragement to you is that no matter what you're going through, like, love yourself. And here's an exercise that I was doing. I mentioned in my last video that I wasn't feeling so hot after my course ended. I really pushed myself a lot. I was very tired. I didn't get enough rest. And I feel like I have a little bit of a cold. I don't think it's COVID. I'll get tested. I don't think it is. It just feels like a good old-fashioned cold. We still get those. And so I was laying on the couch. I was like, oh, I don't want to do anything. I'm tired. And so I did this exercise, and try this on. As I laid there, I imagined all of my DNA. I just like kind of imagined all of my body. I kind of visualized all these like strands of DNA making up who I am. And then in that visualization, I started like, it's like winding my own threads, but these like threads of love around all of the strands of my being. So I wrapped myself in love on a molecular level. And it was kind of a meditation, kind of a visualization. And in fact, I remember once I read this thing about Thich Nhat Hanh, the great Buddhist teacher who recently passed away, who was a very important mentor in my journey. In fact, I remember one of the darkest moments of my life, finding one of his books at this church when I was in Maryland. And he was talking about learning how to be mindful of the breath. Anyways, he was asked in an interview, they asked him, sir, like, do you not get angry? And he says, yes, I get angry. He's like this very peaceful, you know, pretty much enlightened being. And he says, yes, I get angry, but when I do, I wrap the anger in love. I wrap it in love. And so I thought of that as I was laying here on the couch, and I wrapped myself in love. Ah, it smells good. Boom, 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 boom. All right, wrap it in love, friends, whatever it is. All right, let's chop up some. We gotta empty that out of it. All right, I'm gonna keep talking to you guys. But yeah, you know, it's like a cool meditation. Like, if you literally don't have the energy for anything else, like you can't get your ass up, you just want to lay there, just imagine whatever it looks like to you, this like pink glowing light, white light, just coming and just wrapping around your DNA, like threading around it, and just all levels of your being just like pulsating and just glowing with like love and acceptance. Even if you feel shitty, even if you feel tired, even if you feel sick, even if, no matter what you feel, wrap it in love. Bev, what am I cooking? Bev, I'm cooking the same thing. I'm always cooking some vegetables. I'm gonna get my rice going. Oh, the bison bone broth. I got this bison bone broth from this guy Pablo. Put a little bit of that in. Yeah, he like slow cooks these bison bones for like 72 hours in a clay, in like some special clay pot. It's pretty legit. Okay, we gotta clear out, I gotta clear out this tea so I can use it to cook the rice. What are we gonna put it in? What are we gonna, jars, of course jars are the answer. Jars are always the answer. This is okay, so this is kind of like a goopy looking tea. This is called slippery elm bark. This is really good for your intestines. This is a mucilaginous demulcent, so it moisturizes and soothes your insides, especially if you've had parasites or any sort of like irritation. This can help repair the mucosal lining of your intestines, which is really important. People are grossed out by mucus, but mucus is really important for our healthy functioning. Yeah, good. Oh, it's so goopy. I love it. Nice. Stephanie. Yeah, Stephanie says one day that we'll meet and you'll no longer be my biggest stalker. Well, I've got a lot of big stalkers. Wendy is my favorite stalker. That's a joke. Yeah, if you feel called to come, come. When I host retreats, you can come for a retreat. If you just want to come here, come on down, You'll have to figure that one out on your own, but it's possible. In fact, a few people are coming very soon. Roger's coming. My friend Morgan's coming, and also Savannah from that detox company. We hit it off so well that she is coming down here. She's going to Mexico, and then she's coming here to visit me, which is amazing. Yep, Slippery Elm Bark. Bethany Briggs. Love that woman. She's got it. So look it up. Slippery Elm Bark. So good. All right. Aaron, you want to come with me? If your mind is too busy, I can totally relate, and that just is a call for meditation, because meditation is nothing more than training our minds to slow down. Slow down. Slow down. You can see the goop on my lips, Bev, because it's there. I love it. It's so goopy. Okay. I was ozonating my cabbage. We're gonna do some sauerkraut. Also, I got this whole gallon of fire cider. I pretty much drank this whole thing today of fire cider, and I've been eating it too, which is really, really tasty. What about poop? Okay, yeah, Vicky, it's funny. What about poop? It's a great question. What about poop? So, and I guess I should wrap this up. Oh, I do have my call coming up in 10 minutes, so I do have to wrap this up. Here's the gist of it, if you just got on. Transformation is part of our existence. Transformation is our birthright. The ability to take something in a lower density and transform it into its highest version. This is called alchemy. Alchemy is not literally about turning lead into gold, but metaphorically or symbolically. How do you take something of a base, denser, lower vibration, a lower material, something that's not so valuable, and turn it into something that's priceless beyond all measure? So this was something that I really loved in the gardening course, was I was getting to see alchemy in action in the most tangible physical sense. And one of those ways was with compost. Now, I don't know if you know this, but one of the ways that we can garden and work with land without using chemicals is by harnessing the power of compost. Compost is organic matter it's a combination of carbon and nitrogen, right? That have broken down and become bioavailable to plants. It's like gold. That's black gold, right? This really high nutritional value, right? And it's made up, when we were learning about it at the farm, we were learning the example of goat poop and straw. Goat poop and straw, which is just like goat poop. If you put goat poop and straw on plants, nothing's going to happen. They might even die because it's not bioavailable. They can't eat it. A plant can't directly process goat poop and straw and turn it into more plant, right? But it can do that same thing with compost. So what's the missing ingredient? Time. So time is the most important ingredient, because without it, you just have goat poop and straw. You can mix them together, but without giving it time, the magic can't happen. So why I love this example and why I think this is really important for you and me is that we are undergoing processes of transformation and alchemy all the time. Healing old patterns, changing our ways, recovering from addiction, recovering from trauma and grief, all the ways that we want for ourselves to up level, become healthier, become happier, right? Go from that really base, low vibration of sadness and despair and grief and move towards our highest joy and purpose in life and that sense of fulfillment that maybe is not available to us from those dark places. So alchemy is that process. And I don't know about you, but a lot of times I want to rush things. I want things to be done much faster. And that, in fact, this is where this video came from, is I was cooking the slippery elm bark tea that you just saw me drinking. And I was reflecting on this past year of learning Ayurveda and doing Ayurveda. And there were times when I was doing everything right, but I was still having symptoms. I was still not where I wanted to be. And that's what I realized, is that I was doing everything right. I was taking all of the right steps. And I was frustrated and disappointed and sad with where I was. And yet I was doing everything right, but I wasn't giving it the time. I wasn't giving it time. So, if you're recovering from grief, a lot of people will ask me, how do I finish this? How do I get through it? It's like, maybe you just need more time. Time is one of the magic ingredients in this process of healing and transforming our lives. So without time, you just have poop and straw. No matter how badly you want compost, you just got poop and straw, my friend. And all of the ways that's a metaphor for our lives. So that's what I loved about this gardening course is, I was learning the principles to tend a garden, but really what I'm learning are the principles to tend my own inner garden. Because it's all mirror and it's all symbolic, and that's why learning about nature and how nature works is so valuable, because we are of nature and we are functioning over those same laws and principles. So if you're struggling, to take the right steps and hold on to hope and faith, trust, and pray for patience above all. Surrender into God's timing, nature's timing, the timing of the natural world. You can't force a seed to grow. You can't force a flower to blossom. You have to give it time. You have to give it the conditions for life to occur. You have to give it the conditions that it needs to thrive and be healthy, right? And then you have to give it time and patience. Okay? All right, I gotta go focus on finishing my dinner because I got a call with my lovely assistant, Channy, in about 10 minutes. Oh, shit, in 3 minutes. I gotta go. I gotta go, guys. Thank you so much. I love y'all, and I will see you later. Yeah, Bev, great. Faith over fear. Faith over fear. And what is fear but faith in the negativity, faith in the darkness, What about having faith in the ability of life to go on and the ability of the seed to grow? Right? And the ability of us to heal over time. So, okay? I love you guys. Have a beautiful evening or morning or whenever you're watching this. I love y'all so much. And I'll see you soon enough. Good night, Cinnalyn. Good night, Michelle. Good night, Marilyn. Good night, Molly. Bye, Lonnie. Bye, Vicky. Bye, Marcus. I love you. I love you all.